this. So if you're not comfortable with that, you can, make sure that you watch the posted, what we're going to post it later. I just want to make sure that I let all of you know that we'll be recording this so that we can watch it later. And it was good seeing a lot of all of you. Sorry I had to come in late. And as our fearless leader, Barb, isn't here as well, but I guess I'll start this off. We want to keep it short and sweet, just kind of give you guys an update, let you know we're still here. 2020 has been what it's been. A lot of us, some of us have a lot of work, others of us have lost work. So we're cognizant of that. The leadership here at the West Michigan Cybersecurity Consortium is just, we wanted to communicate out to the valued members, all of you, let you know that we're still working and assure you that we're here for you. I don't think I have to preface this with, this pandemic has impacted all our schedules and events. But I think what we'll do is just kind of cover what has happened and kind of give a little update of where we're at. Let me look at so our consortium, I'll just give a consortium update first. We're gonna, as all of us are dealing with the new ways of communicating, we're using virtual communication a lot more now. The consortium is no exception. So you'll see a lot of those kind of technology changes from us. I would say that we do have a subcommittee that is kind of researching some of those things. Obviously today we're on Zoom, but we're trying to find out what the right technology is, whether it's Zoom, Teams, Meet, one of the plethora of other ones that are out there. As our funding, is from the state of Michigan for Region 6 cybersecurity intelligence, we want to make sure that, we're delivering on our mission and that all of you are part of that. We have a 700 plus member organization, but we want you guys to all be a part of the decisions. So even with that, you're probably going to see a little more communication from us. Typically, we don't try to communicate too much, but we do want to understand, the needs of all of you. So we are developing a couple of surveys that we want to send out. Those aren't completed, but they will be, and then you will be seeing those. We kind of just want to understand some of the topics and items that you guys want to know about and where we're all at, kind of thing. And then, we'll utilize our partnerships that we have in the community just to provide some value to you all, making sure that we still have engagements and activities. That's still going to be part of what we're doing. And, even with that kind of really leads me into WMCAT, which is one of our strategic partners right now. And West Michigan Center for Arts and Technology is WMCAT, for any of you that, I don't like to just drop acronyms without telling you what it all is, but I think all of you know about the partnership there. Anthony Tootle, who was opening the meeting while I was late, he's the manager there at the Cyber Hub, and I will pass it back to him and let him kind of give an update on what we've been going at from WMCAT perspective around trainings and opportunities. So go ahead, Anthony, please.
Yeah, I will take it away. So first off, thanks, Abe. Thanks again to everyone who's, dialed in. As Abe was talking about, over the next couple of months, as we try to figure out the best way to support the organization, the consortium, along with the Cyber Hub, will be coasting and at the same time, hosting or co-hosting a variety of different virtual events And really what we're trying to do is pilot and figure out, what's the best way. I know traditionally we've met, Wednesday mornings out at Davenport, as coming together in physical space is less of a reality. We're going to try to pilot events at different times of the day, events of different durations, focusing on maybe some different subject areas, as well as these different types of technology as well. So between now and October, really the end of September, our plan is to use the technologies that we're using today, to use Eventbrite to post events and to register participants, and then to leverage Zoom as a video chat or video communication platform. But because we're not fully committed to that, as Abe mentioned, we're trying to figure out what works best for us and what works best for you all. We're able to do that through the Cyber Hub. So you're going to see those events and registration links and the credentials for the calls come through the Cyber Hub. And that just gives us the ability as a consortium to sort of explore and pilot what we think works for us. And then we can go from there. So as I'm talking about the events, you might be asking yourself, well, what are they? The first one is this one, just a quick virtual update for you all to let you know where we're at and what the outlook looks like for the next couple of months. The next event is it's actually next week, Wednesday. We're putting together what the Cyber Hub is calling a Cyberside Chat. It's intended to be the first in a series of conversations exploring different aspects of cybersecurity and technology. That'll be next Wednesday, August 5th from 4:30 to about 5 o'clock. It's essentially a panel discussion focusing on how people of color might navigate into the tech and cybersecurity field. So that event is up on the Cyber Hub's Eventbrite page, so feel free to follow us and get updates as events come online. It'll approximately be an hour-long panel discussion, and then we'll transition into essentially a virtual happy hour for the community, just to give people a chance to sort of connect and follow up with some panelists. The next event that we're planning for mid-September might be the one that you all have the most questions about because of COVID, the Rona. The Purple event, as we were initially conceiving it this year, and as we've done it in the past, we made the decision that coming together in physical space and really having the Purple event as we've known and loved it over the past years wasn't quite a reality. But in its place, we're going to do Event 19, which is a Purple-ish event, really geared at, still trying to hit a lot of the core concepts of the Purple event, right? Coming together and connecting around community, sharing ideas, helping to educate each other as well as the broader community. And so it'll happen on Zoom. We'll have a handful of non-technical and technical joint sessions, as well as we're aiming for a technical breakout or two, and a technical demo. And in addition to that, we're also exploring how we might have a sort of a competitive environment running in parallel in the background for those members of the community that really do like and seek out the more competitive part of the Purple event. So that's planned for September 17th, approximately 1 to 4:15 or so. And really aimed at having a shorter form factor event that gives a wide enough breadth of exposure to a couple of the different areas within tech, and then from there we can transition into, again, a sort of a virtual happy hour, allow you all and other members of the consortium and the community to connect. The next event will be kind of a similar event to this one. We're calling it Virtual Update number 2 towards the end of September. And that's really to look back over not only this event, but the next 2 or 3 that are coming up. And as Abe mentioned, we'll be sending out some surveys and sort of soliciting your feedback on how things are going, what's working, what's not. And that'll be more of a feedback update to let everyone know sort of how the events went. And then also to provide a little bit more vision as we look out into the fall months. So all of that is to say, the general planning idea is, we're looking out through the end of September. We're going to plan as a consortium probably about a quarter, approximately 3 months in advance, and that gives us a little bit of flexibility to respond to how the landscape around us it continues to change. Allows us to be a little bit more nimble in selecting again which sort of tech platforms and solutions we want to go after. And as we think about your feedback, where we're at with respect to COVID and the regular flu, as well as any sort of latest developments around what the impact to Cybersecurity Awareness Month in October. When we come back together at the end of September, we'll be able to provide a little bit more insight and a new plan for how to proceed through sort of the end of the calendar year. Beyond the events that I just mentioned, so today's virtual update, the Cyberside chat next week, event 19, and another virtual update in September. Some of the other things that we frequently talk about are educational opportunities. So some of you might recall earlier in the year, in the before times, we had planned a CCSP, a CISSP, and a CEH boot camp. Each of those were canceled on a case-by-case basis, but as Abe mentioned at the beginning, we know that some of you are overburdened with work. Others, you might not have any work right now. Some organizations have, frozen hiring or frozen professional development budgets. And so what that's caused me in my role here at the Cyber Hub to really focus on is how do we, just get creative in delivering some educational opportunities. So in partnership with some of our sister cyber hubs across the state, there are 2 5-week cohorts that we're standing up, one around Network Plus, to earn your Network Plus certification, and another around Security Plus. Those are 5-week courses that are meant to take place from 4 to 6 on Mondays and Wednesdays. And that'll be taught with a live remote instructor out of Pinckney High School. And so if any of you are interested in pursuing either of those certifications, Net Plus, Sec Plus, the information again is on the Cyber Hub's Eventbrite page. Feel free to register through there. And as a reminder, for any certificate-based training, if your employer has funds available for professional development, the Incumbent Worker Training Program, or IWT as you might see it initialized, is still funded and still available. So if you have any questions about potential reimbursement through your employer for any of these certificate-based courses, please feel free to reach out to business@westmiworks.org. So those are sort of the big updates for you all from us. What's been going on with the consortium, what events we're looking at over the next couple of months, some of the more immediate educational opportunities that are lined up. And I missed one here. Abe slid into our meeting notes, that there's also a 25% off discount code for all Secure Ideas trainings. And I know Abe's really familiar with their portfolio. And so I'll sort of let him expand on that a little bit. But just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Yeah, sorry to slip that one in. I know one of the things that, with the partnership with the Cyber Hub, Secure Ideas is also another vendor that we're utilizing to provide a lot of kind of support for what we do in the Cyber Hub. I don't know if I know many of you actually are familiar with Kevin Johnson, who owns it. He built NetWars for SANS. He wrote the curriculum for their app testing. So he knows what he's doing. We're glad that we've kind of partnered with them. So they are kind of another strategic partner for us. That was really why I slipped it in there, just knowing that you as members can have 25% off the trainings that they're providing. Are we going to be able to give those notes, some of those notes to everyone that's attended, or our membership? Maybe Stacy will send that out later. Just so you know, because it has a code on there. There's different things, but
yeah. So in addition to uploading the recording of today's meeting, we'll also be sure to send out a follow-up email with the links to the future events that we talked about, as well as I can link directly to the Network Plus and Security Plus and Secure Ideas that are in our background notes here. And then, Abe mentioned that we're working on a survey as well, just a quick survey about how today's event went and your feedback on that. So we'll be sure to send that along as a follow-up in the next couple of days as well. So just as a brief takeaway, so if you have any sort of follow-up questions, feel free to email us. Email me at cyber@wmcat.org, or you can email the consortium directly. This is a long one, guys. wmcybersecurity@kentcounty.mi.gov. But like I said, we'll be sure to include, all appropriate email addresses and links to events and things and a follow-up email. With that, we hope that this very brief update was helpful, was beneficial. We really appreciate you all dialing in, making some time for us. We're looking forward to making sure that as an organization, we continue to be valuable to you all. And just to reiterate that we're really here to serve. And despite it being a really weird time, culturally, politically, health-wise, just all around, doing everything we can to support you guys the way you need to be supported. So with that, I will sort of stop the recording, but feel free to hop off or just drop off mute and catch up with your fellow members.